Do you have like 8 different apps and software that you use to organize and plan your life? And if you think about it, are you really organized if you have like 10 different places that you have things stored? So I craved this for years, an app that would have all the information, all the things that I need to save, all the different aspects of my life that I need to plan and organize in one set location. And I actually found the solution. I'm using an app called Notion to organize my entire life. And when I say my entire life, I mean my entire life. Hi, I'm Kimani and welcome to my channel Hauling This Together, where we talk about all things personal growth, organization and productivity. So in this video I will give you guys a tour of my Notion, my entire Notion. There are so many different aspects to it. As I said, I organize and plan my entire life in here, so there's a lot to go with this video, but I hope that you guys will get some value from it. Best app software I've used all my life, and I've been using it since last year. Like literally, to show you how much I plan my entire life in this app, I'm recording right now. Guess what I have my outline on? That is my Notion app, guys. Just a little disclaimer, Notion can be a pain, and when I say a pain, I mean a pain to set up. It took me like 3 weeks to set up the initial few pages. The concepts that I had in my head were pretty complicated. It's almost like building a website, so be prepared for that if you do decide to try this for the first time. But yeah, let me stop yapping and let's actually get into the video. So I'm going to share my screen so that I can show you what my Notion looks like. Okay, so when you start on Notion, you're going to get something like this saying getting started, and pretty much you're starting from a blank page. And I literally turned to my Notion from this blank page into this. Okay, so just a little disclaimer, 90% of the information on here is very fictitious and not my personal information. So don't be coming at me if you see something that seems kind of outrageous. I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what it is. So I just copied my Notion and then tweaked it a bit. So using this one app, I have used it to replace 6 different planners that I had in my life before, which I will go through on here. At least 5 different social media calendars, which I've made in one. I plan my entire YouTube on here. I have client work, business stuff. I've replaced 3 different types of journals. And I also have all my recipes from my personal life and my business. I track my movies, my books, my podcast, and I have all my skincare stuff on there. So this is my home page. Here I have my directory. So I have a bunch of sub pages here that if I click, it will take me directly to where I need to get to. Here I have a little widget. So this is today's date and this is the time right now that I'm filming. Over here I have some resource links. Here I just have whatever month we're in, and I have a little jiffy kind of situation going on there just for excitement. And then here I have just a social media calendar. So let me show you what's going on here. Good things take time to grow. I have a nice little header up here, and here I have a calendar that's also live. So first thing that I have here are my routines. So when I do something in the morning, I take it off. Down here we have my schedules or my to-do list. Within each day, when you toggle it down, you can see my to-do list for the day. Right now I'm recording this, but I'm not done, and so I can't toggle it until after I'm done. I try to add images and quotes and just some pop of color. And then here I have a week view of my master calendar, but we'll get into calendars a little bit after. Okay, I don't want to make this video any longer than it needs to be, and so if you want the details on this life map, then you can check that video out where I show you how to do this entire plan. Now I have this copy of my year goals and the actionable tasks that I need to take each quarter on my planner, so that it's easier for me to plan my weeks and my months and my days. So the entire process was covered in that video, so you can go check it out. Another thing to note that I do in mine, which I also have in this template, each goal has a color, and so when you go under each thing that you're supposed to do, each task, they all have a color, so you know what goal they are contributing to. This is my day-to-day planner. And then here I have some sub planners, because as I've mentioned a million times, I like to organize, and so I have a planner for almost everything in my life. This is my massive action plan, so my map, And again, if you want details on how to create your own life map or massive action plan or GPS, then go check that video out. So on this page, I have my headings, I have my deadline, I have my long-term goals, and I have a 50-year plan for my life, which I have in 5-year increments so that I can plan my life 5 years at a time. Here I have the breakdown of my goals, what they mean, all the things that we did, making them SMART goals, my quarter goals. And here, if you're not assessing your goals, then how are you sure where you are and where you need to be? So I have my assessment by quarter for each year. And then here I have all my goals overall, which is the first step of what we did in that video. So there we have that. Let's go back to my planner. And now we have my finance tracker. Okay, the first thing that we have here is income, and here we have all our income, and then we go by months, so all the months that we have tracked. And yeah, we have the amount, the name of the where we are getting it from, the accounts that they're linked to, which is right here, the date, which is just the month, and the category that they fall in. Then I have two expenses, Canadian and Jamaican, but they're pretty much the same layout, just the currency that's different, and obviously the list of expenses. If you go on, it's the same thing. All my total expenses from January until June, and then we have the account which the expenses came from, we have the amount, we have what it was used for, and we have the categories. I also have this tendency to loan people money and then not remember to collect, and so I have my loan tracker, which has all the information about all the monies that I've loaned to people and who needs to pay me back. So all the loans are here, then those that are not paid are filtered off, which is usually the ones that I like to check. And then after that, I have the status of all the loans, which shows me the different categories, and obviously I can move people around so that we can change their status of their loans. Then here I track all my monies using accounts in savings, check-ins, and cash for Jamaican and Canadian. These numbers are fictitious, so please don't come at me, but you get the gist. I honestly wish I could have all of this automated so that it's linked to my accounts and linked to my income and expenses, but for right now I have to manually include those things. And then we have all the categories for income and expenses. And I love the fact that we can toggle everything up and down so that it's not like a very confusing mess like a spreadsheet, for example. Plus I love the colors. Here we have my habit tracker. Now I'm more conscious of the habits that I am doing each day. And here I have good habits and I have bad habits that I want to track to see how much of it I'm doing. This says quick check because if I click on anything here, it automatically takes it away from the checklist down here. And then this is just preview of what we've done today. Okay, so here we have a week view and a month view of all the habits that I did and didn't do. And if you look at the bottom, there's a progress bar which has a formula to show me how far along I am. So here we just have wake early and devotion. Let's toggle drink water, journal, and exercise. So if we go here, we can see that those were filled in, and if we go down here, they were also filled in. And if you are keeping up with my 100 days of consistency where I wake up at 6 a.m. and I try to build healthy habits, this is what I used to track that. You can find the series on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. I just copied my habit tracker and tweaked it. This planner is definitely my favorite. I use it for meal planning, meal prepping, to organize my shopping list, and to keep my recipes. Did I mention I love it? Okay, so first thing is my meal plan calendar, which I just add all the things that we ate for the week in this calendar so that I can keep track, so that we're not eating the same thing always. Here I have my master shopping list, which has literally all the things that we usually do, and when we're going shopping, I just take the things that we need and check them off. I'm trying to also be more mindful of the things I eat and the things I put in my body. Trying to eat certain types of food, so here we have different types of food that I'm trying to increase in my diet, and so I have a list of them. The things that are blue are because they're reoccurring in different sections, and I try to prioritize those. I truly feel like we can use food to heal our bodies from the inside out, and having these list of foods that I want to incorporate in my body on the same page that I meal plan and meal prep, it just helps me to ensure that all these things are added, at least a few per week added to my diet. So it really does make the world of difference. And then to the far right, I have a list of meal ideas for breakfast, lunch, dinner, all the things in between, just in case I'm meal planning and I'm not sure what I want to do. So I have them broken down. So here we have pancakes, and then we have all different types of pancakes. Here we have chicken. Well, we have proteins, and we have different meats and the different ways that we can prepare them. And then here we're going into the weekly breakdown of what we do. So I record this so that my meal prep is a lot easier. Okay, so if you know me, you know I like to bake and I like to cook. So here I have all my recipes in this one location. So I have recipes from my day-to-day, and I also have all my Golden West business recipes. So yeah, there are a lot, and I have them in sections. So I have all my recipes, and then I have whether they're tested or not, whatever category they're in, whatever type, whatever ratings. So if I need to upgrade a recipe, I know exactly where I'm starting and where I'm going. Here I have all the dietary tags, so gluten-free, nut-free, sugar-free, lactose-free, keto, all the above. Literally have all the information I would need on any recipe. And then at the top, as you can see, I have some filtered, so whether they're tested or not, these are the recipes that are tested, and I have them in like a board view so that I can see the different categories of foods and the different types of foods that fall under. These are my gluten-free, dietary stuff, and I love the fact that I can just look at the image. When you open a recipe, however, it breaks down even more, so it gives you all the things that you need, the instructions, all the tags, the recipe itself, the steps, any notes, the serving, all the above. So a template within my template. So those are all my planners. Let's get into another section. I work on social media, and so instead of having a bunch of different calendars, I have one master social media calendar that has all my personal content for YouTube and my personal page, my business pages, my clients' stuff, and yeah. Okay, this is the video that I'm currently filming, my Notion tour, and it has all the information that I need, as you can see, and it also tells me the status. So right now we're on filming because that's what I'm doing, and when I'm done I'll put it over to editing. Here's where I plan all my content so that I can know the status and know what I need to work on, know what's ready, what's scheduled, what's in drafts, literally everything. I do planning for all my content, and not just YouTube, but depending on the type of content, they may look a little bit different. And if you're wondering why you aren't seeing any previous posts listed on the calendar, that's because I have a filter on, so once something is toggled to posted, it disappears so that I don't have the clutter. I also have a page that is dedicated to just YouTube outside of the master calendar. Here I have my link embedded, so if I click that link, it will take me directly to my channel on YouTube. Here we go. Let's go back to Notion. So down below there I have a copy of my calendar. I also have some things to note and some content ideas for short form and long form content. So if I'm doing any planning and I'm not sure what I want to do, I have a list of ideas to keep me posting consistently. I have these pages for my business and for my clients too. On here I have my lead tracker, my content vault, some research and things to do, onboarding process for client, more content ideas, literally everything is organized. Now let's get into my journals, and I have three main journals on here: my daily journal, my manifestational journal, and my spiritual journal. For my spiritual journal, I use it for my devotion, so Bible study and journaling my prayers. And then under each category or type of journal, I have different templates. Okay, so let's take a look at my daily journal template. First we have brain dump, and then my overall rating of the day. I realize that my emotions sometimes link with the weather, and so I try to track that, and also what kind of day I'm having, if it's a good day or not. I also try to write down at least 3 things that I'm grateful for in that day so that I can focus on the positive. And I have some prompts just in case I'm not sure what I want to journal about in that moment. Now for my manifestation journal. This, I start with an affirmation so that I can rewire my brain, write down the things that I'm grateful for, but I also write down why I'm grateful for them, things I want to attract or release in my life, and why. The why usually helps me to analyze to see what my thinking is around it. Then I actually record my manifestation, and then I do a little bit of life scripting. And then the last journal that I have here is my devotion journal, which I use for prayer journaling and my Bible study. So usually I start with a song if I have a song in mind or on my heart, and I usually just embed one from YouTube, which I'm going to show you in a sec. So just go on, find the song I was listening to, the blessing, so it seemed fitting, copy the link, and then I embed it. So if I want to listen while I'm doing my devotion, they're in the same place. Or I can just go back when I'm reading my devotion to see what was on my mind. Then I have a link to an online, it's like a Bible study app, which explains everything that I read, and then I take my notes and record everything there. Try to be grateful for a few more things. If I want to journal, I'll do that. Most times I just journal in my prayer because I like to talk to God about the things that are on my mind. If I'm stuck and I need to pray, I have this little outline that reminds me where to start praying and what to pray about. Another thing that I like to keep track of is my entertainment. So my movies, my books, my podcasts, my TV shows, they're all tracked here, and here I have some more links embedded for easy access. Let's start with podcast. So those are all the podcasts, the status and where I'm listening to them, where I stopped, and the genre of the podcast that I'm listening to. Just started listening to podcasts, so there aren't many. Here I have my movies and my series, which are my TV shows. I have them filtered down so that I can see what I'm watching, what I finished, what I need to watch. And so if I want to watch a movie, I don't have to really think about it because I have my list. So yeah, there we go. And then I have my book list. I've honestly never really been big on reading, but I'm trying to do more of that this year. I've finished one book so far, which is an accomplishment since I haven't read since high school. But here I have all the books that I want to read and the status, whether it's audiobook or written text, whether I'm reading it, need to read, or I finished, the format, the genre. So I have personal development, I have spiritual, and I have some business books. When you click on the books, however, I have more information on there. So all the status of the book is there. This is the book that I read, and I have a little quote there. I have the picture of the book, I have the link to the audiobook, and I have like the ebook. And then down here I have literally all the notes that I made while I was reading the book. So if I want to refresh my memory, I just need to read my notes instead of rereading the book. And of course, if you're adding a new book, I have the template, so all you do is click it and then you can fill in the specific information for whatever book you're reading. The next thing I have on here is all things self-care, which is something that I'm really trying to work on this year. So I have my morning skincare routine, which I do daily, my night skincare routine. I have a weekly self-care checklist, and then I have my monthly like maintenance self-care checklist, which I do. Then below that I have a bunch of recipes for my sugar wax, which I do myself recently. I have some scrubs for lip scrub, body scrub, like literally everything self-care is in here. I also have some instructions on what to do. So yeah. Okay, so that's it for this video, and as you saw just now, I literally have my entire life, and then some in my Notion. It takes out all the chaos, all the guesswork, all the complication, all the confusion, all the stress out of my day. So if you guys like this video, then let me know by liking this video and leaving a comment down below, letting me know if you think that this is something that you would try. And if you're interested and you want me to show you guys like some detailed tutorials on how I created those different templates, then just let me know and I will definitely get on that. I'm also considering selling my templates because a few people have suggested and asked for me to sell them my templates. But if you're interested in that and you don't want to go through the stress of having to actually create all these systems yourself, then also let me know so that I can figure out that part and actually have it online for you to purchase. But until then, remember, do something today that will make you a little bit better than you were yesterday.